Monster Jam is an experience like no other. A phenomenon that is trending across the world. Born from raw power. Driven by fearless competitors. Strength is measured in horsepower. And emotions that are pushed to their edge. But the true force, the spark that ignites it all, is you, the fans.
You are the roar that pushes us to drive harder and go higher. We need your energy. So get up, get loud.
Every clap,
every cheer.
This is your house.
this is your moment.
We can feel it.
We can hear you.
Denver, are you ready?
I said, are you ready?
Denver,
Are you ready?
You ready for Monster Jam?
Denver, this is Monster Jam!
Welcome to Monster Jam! And we're kicking it off with our very first competition full of so much adrenaline, JCB Racing, where our 8 superstars are going to race against the clock. And the driver with the fastest time will get the first 8 crucial points towards the BKT Overall Event Championship here this afternoon. So Denver, who's ready for JCB Racing?
Introducing your first racer from Rockport, Texas. Let's hear it for Alex Barden in Earthshaker. Alex Barden's walked away with 5 racing wins so far this season as he pulls up to the line. We've got 2 ambers and a go on green.
And the score for Alex Barden, Earthshaker, is 11.533.
As we take a look back here, Alex Barden keeping it clean and setting the pace for our JCB Racing with a time of 11.533. And our next racer coming to us from Cadillac, Michigan. Let's hear it for Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack. Tim Hall looking to keep it steady and fast as he pulls up to the line to go on green.
And the time for Tim Hall Jr. Jurassic Attack is an 11.076.
Looks like we may have a new leader as we look at Tim Hall Jr., a master of control on that track, getting that 11.076. Good enough to claim the number one spot for now in JCB Racing, but can he hold on to it? We'll have to find out together, Denver. As we get ready for our next driver from Whittier, California, let's hear it for Armando Castro in El Toro Loco. Looking for two amber lights before we get to the green. We've already got the one. We've got two. Go on green.
And the time for Armando Castro, El Toro Loco, is an 11.172.
Armando Castro showing us how hard that second corner is. Get himself a little bit of time, but it's a good enough for second place currently with a time of 11.172. Will he be able to hold on to that number two spot? Tim Hall Jr. and Jurassic Attack still in number one. As we get our next racer from Huntsville, West Virginia, give it up for Cliff Turner in Velociraptor. Cliff Turner loves speed, and we'll get to see him take it out on this track as he pulls up to the line to go on green.
And the time for Cliff Turner, Velociraptor, is an 11.895.
As we take a look here, Cliff Turner, maybe a little too much mustard on that first turn, made him whip out there before getting over that line, puts him in currently in fourth with a time of 11.895. As we still got four more drivers to go, but Denver, I heard you already, but let's hear it again for the man from Williamsport, Maryland, Matt Cody in Gravedigger. That black and green wrecking machine pulling up to the line for the first run at a competition so far today. Go on green.
And the time for Matt Cody Gravedigger is an 11.911.
As we take a look back at this replay, we see Matt Cody clip the edge of that pod there, was the difference maker in his run, showing just how important precision is here in the JCB Racing this evening. We see Gravedigger with an official time of 11.911. But next up, we have from Lafayette, Louisiana. Give it up for Blake Granger in Monster Mutt Dalmatian. We've already got one amber light. We got two. Go on green. Looks like we had a bit of a clock malfunction, so we'll have to wait and get a word from our officials on the time that will lock in. And it looks like our official time for Monster Mutt Dalmatian, 12.090. That one may have huge ramifications on that BKT overall event championship. He's in pursuit of his 8th in a row. But Denver, I hear you getting loud already. Let's hear it one more time for the man from Gales Creek, Oregon, Matt Doomer in Megalodon. The roar of the crowd to power this big Megalodon truck as Matt Doomer pulls up to the line, and we wait for the 2 amber lights and the go on green.
And the time for Matt Doomer is a 12.037.
As we take a look back here at Matt Doomer coming around that second corner, which has been a real issue for a lot of the drivers here, but still able, it looked like, to get at least one tire up that main ramp to avoid any penalties. Comes through with a time of 12.037, putting him at 6th so far in the JCB racing competition. Now we've got one more driver left. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the man from Oak Harbor, Washington. Give it up for Carson Williams in Thunderoris. As Carson Williams pulls the line.
And the time for Carson Williams, Thunderoris, is a 12.038.
And folks, you see the times up here. Your winner of JCB Racing, Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack. Putting down that time of 11.076. Early on in the racing, able to hold on to the spot, sitting in that hot seat through all the other racers. Tim Hall Jr. known for that control, known for that precision. And now I think about to be known here in Denver, Colorado as a fan favorite. I can't wait to hear from him. Alex Miniak, let's get a word from our JCB winner.
Thank you very much, Jack. Down here on the pond with the winner of the JCB Racing Competition, Tim Hall Jr., Jurassic Attack. Tim, whether you're racing an opponent or the clock, you seem to come out on top. Nice work today.
Yeah, man, we're out here trying to do our thing, trying to get, some points on the board for Jurassic Attack. We've been in 3rd place for a little while now, trying to catch up to the El Toro Loco, and this is how we get it done right here. We got to do good in racing. We got that off the checklist. Now we got to show out for 2-wheel skills, and you know what? I was actually really stoked to be here. Like, I wasn't sure how the truck was going to run, and me and my little brother, we got that thing running awesome. That thing is perfect right now. I am so stoked. Thank you, Denver.
Back in the pits, they call this guy Timmy Two-Wheel. There's a reason for that, because he is quite the master at the 2-wheel skills competition. That's coming up next. What are you going to bring to Denver?
You know, man, I don't know if I would say I'm the master, but I do like that nickname. That is pretty cool. You know, Blake, he's pretty good at two-wheel skills. Me and him have been battling out, but I just got to go out here and stay cool, calm, and collected and do my thing. And hopefully I can be back up here on this pod a little later with two-wheel skills. But we'll see. We'll see.
Tim Hall Jr., give it up for him. Jurassic Attack.
Blake Granger waving those back wheels at you while standing up on the front two. Big time combo. He still has one hit remaining, Denver. After hitting that big combo up on the pod. A slap wheelie there right at the end. But what does Blake have ready for us next?
What a hot start! Let's make some noise for Blake Granger, Monster Mud Dalmatian! And now, Denver, it is your time to shine. We're going to need your help. It's time to lock your scores in at judgeszone.com. Scan that QR code on the video board, enter the code DEN, and slide that BKT tire up or down. You have a couple seconds left, so lock those scores in now.
Blake Granger showing us that he is always in this thing. The scores are locked. And the score for Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, is 9.187. And Denver, to lock in a score that good this early is incredible and well-deserved. Look at this as Blake walks that truck back up over the pod. What makes this impressive is that control that Blake Granger has, bringing Monster Mutt up the pod and right back down. But of course, now getting ready for the next run. Let's hear it for Matt Doomer in Megalodon. Matt Doomer chasing off Monster Mutt here to kick things off. This is Megalodon's pond now. Getting up on the front of that truck and back over the pod. Still one hit remaining for Megalodon here in the two-wheel skills challenge. What will be Matt Doomer's encore?
Let's make some noise for Matt Doomer, Megalodon! Scoring is now open over at judgeszone.com. You have 20 seconds to get those scores locked in.
Denver, the question we have to ask ourselves now is, was it better than Monster Mutt Dalmatian? Already set the bar early on. Matt Doomer here now being compared. How will the scores come in? How did that run compare to Monster Mutt Dalmatian? The scores are locked, and the score for Matt Doomer in Megalodon is 6.587. Good enough to lock in for now that number 2 spot. But I want to go back and look at Megalodon here. Showing control, Matt Doomer has really been taking the tour by storm with the opportunities he's been given here in Arena Championship Series West behind the wheel of Megalodon. But next up, it's that black and green wrecking machine. Denver, let's hear from Matt Cody in Gravedigger. Gravedigger taking a moment to size up that pod, see what he has in store. Matt Cody has won a two-wheel skills challenge before, looking to do it again. The distance traveled by Matt Cody there on those front 2 tires cannot be ignored, as Matt Cody has one more attempt remaining here in the two-wheel skills challenge. As we look up at the leader at the board there, and we see the score to beat. It's got to be on the mind of Matt Cody now as he approaches that ramp. Let's see what Gravedigger has in store.
Looking to bury the competition, it's Matt Cody, Gravedigger! Now remember, Denver, if you want to help our black and green wrecking machine, you got to lock your scores in now at judgeszone.com. You have 20 seconds.
Once again, we're comparing this to Monster Mutt Dalmatian in that run earlier on. Was this better than that? To take up lots of the track early on with that stand up on the front of the truck, but then also able to hold it still on the pod. Scores are locked, and the score to beat 9.187, but the score for Matt Cody and Gravedigger is 8.728, taking over the number 2 spot so far in the competition. As we take a look back here, Gravedigger again getting up on the pod there, able to hold it pretty steady right there in the center of the pod. Impressive after showing how far he could walk it earlier on in the two-wheel skills run. And next up, we have Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack. Tim Hall Jr. has become a specialist in the two-wheel skills challenge, getting known as Two Wheels Tim. Has won 7 two-wheel skills challenge championships so far this season. One more attempt remaining. The control of that first handstand. I want to direct everyone's attention to the big screen where we see inside the truck Tim Hall Jr. just discarding that steering wheel and still able to get it going.
The humble herbivore is hungry for points. It's Tim Hall Jr., Jurassic Attack. Time to head on over to judgeszone.com. Use the code DEN and lock your scores in now, Denver.
As you listen to that crowd, as Tim Hall Jr. removes that helmet, and we have to ask ourselves, how will that compare to the Monster Mutt Dalmatian Blake Granger run? Was it enough to beat Blake Granger? The scores are locked. The score to beat, 9.187, and the score for Tim Hall Jr. Jurassic Attack is 8.636, enough for third place so far in the competition. As we take a look up at the leaderboard on the screen here, or as we take a look at this glued to the action replay, as we see Tim Hall Jr. just holding that truck in place effortlessly, says to himself, you know what, I don't need the steering wheel, just throws off my balance, throws it out the window and continues to hold that thing. As we look at the overall leaderboard so far, halfway through the two-wheel scales competition, once again, Monster Mutt Dalmatian Blake Granger setting the tone early on with a score of 9.187. Right behind him is Gravedigger Matt Cody, 8.728 after his run in Jurassic Attack. Tim Hall Jr., who we just saw, currently in third place with a score of 8.636. And Megalodon in fourth, Matt Doomer, 6.587. We still have 4 more trucks to go. And now it's time for that crazy bull, Armando Castro, circling that pod. Armando Castro has won 5 of these competitions so far. Look at that snarling, snorting bull with a super combo, backing it up over the pod and blowing smoke out his nose. Armando Castro showing 2 wheels, 2 horns, all of it's the same. What does he have next in store?
Going on a rampage, it's Armando Castro, el Toro Loco. Now remember, Denver, the power is in your hands. We need your help. You have 20 seconds to get those scores locked in at judgeszone.com.
Denver, the Bulls are on parade. El Toro Loco getting up on 2 wheels. Those scores are locked. The score to beat, 9.187. The score for Armando Castro, El Toro Loco, is 9.368. He is your new 2-wheel skills leader. Can he hold on to that lead? Armando Castro, I mean, look at this thing of beauty, just backing it up over the pod, blowing the smoke, doing things only El Toro Loco can do, and doing things only Armando Castro can do, ending with a little flair, a little flip. And we look at the face of Armando Castro after that win, but now it's time to introduce our next competitor. Let's hear it for Alex Barden, Earthshaker. Two-wheel skills is a competition of big opportunity for Alex Barden as he lines up on this ramp, looking to give us a little something special. What does Alex Barden have in mind? Making sure he's lined up just right. You couldn't draw it up much better than that. Popper right up on the pod. Picture perfect verticality from Alex Barden. Now looking to follow it up. As the fans here in Denver seem to like Alex Barden. Lining up the pod. Looking to get some speed, maybe? No. Getting right on the center here. What do we got in store?
He's moving and grooving on the track. It's Alex Barden, Earthshaker. Now remember, Denver, scoring is now open. You have 20 seconds. We need your help. It's the power's in your hands. Head on over to judgeszone.com.
Once again, this is a big area of opportunity for Alex Barden, a place to pick up some extra points. As he gets out of that truck and takes off that helmet, and there is the best hair in the business. Scores are locked. Alex Barden and Earthshaker. 7.873. Good enough to currently lock in that 5th place spot. Just take a look back here. one of the things about Earthshaker is just so steady behind that wheel, and we see that in the racing and the success there, but also here in that two-wheel skills challenge, we can see the balance of Earthshaker going back up over the pod backwards. As folks, it's time to get loud for our next driver, Cliff Turner, Velociraptor. Something that Cliff Turner's really shown over the past few weeks is a confidence that is very rare in someone in their first full season in Monster Jam. Someone who's definitely one to keep an eye on as we keep an eye on the pod. Getting that big dinosaur up with that popper on the pod to kick things off in a very positive way for Cliff Turner. Now looking to go 2 for 2 in this run in the two-wheel skills challenge. Approaching the pod.
Looking to not become a fossil in the competition. Make some noise for Cliff Turner, Velociraptor. Denver, if you'd like to help our dino out, it's time to lock your scores in now at judgeszone.com. You have 20 seconds.
The growth in Cliff Turner cannot be understated. You see just how well he was able to bring together that run here, the two-wheel skills challenge. I think he's feeling pretty proud of that run. I think he should. But let's see what you, the folks here in Denver, felt about that run here in the two-wheel skills challenge. The scores are locked. The score for Cliff Turner in Velociraptor is 6.898. A great run for Cliff Turner. Good enough for 6 in the overall so far here at two-wheel skills. But I want to take a look back here at what Cliff Turner was able to do. As mentioned, doing things that a lot of drivers wouldn't be willing to do this early on in their career, but just showing some guts, pulling in combos here to cap off that two-wheel skills run and really start to spark something for him here. But speaking of sparking, we're sparking our next driver. Let's hear it. Carson Williams, Thunderoris. And this is our last truck of the two-wheel skills competition. And Thunderoris wants to get started chasing off Velociraptor. It's Carson Williams trying to lock in a two-wheel skills challenge run. See if he can topple El Toro Loco. And we'll see if Carson Williams can get a +9 score. Not easy to do, but Carson Williams has been doing incredible in these two-wheel skills challenges. We'll see if he can continue to evolve. One more attempt remaining, going backwards over the pod. Looking to close out strong with that final attempt.
The Apex Predator showing you how it's done. It's Carson Williams, Thunderoris. Now remember, Denver, you know what to do. Lock those scores in now at judgeszone.com.
Carson Williams, a great close there to that two-wheel skills run as we see him pop out of the truck. And that's what the folks are waiting for, the Carson Williams dance. The scores are locked. Score for Carson Williams Thunder Roars is 7.753, which means your winner is El Toro Loco, Armando Castro. Armando Castro, someone who has been regularly atop the two-wheel skills challenges with 5 wins so far, and someone who is always in the hunt for that BKT overall event championship. Could be his night again. But let's hear from the man himself as we send things over to Alex Miniak.
That's right, Jack. Our flags are green, and here come the riders of freestyle motocross. We only ask one thing of you here during freestyle motocross. It's really just one of our rules. The louder you scream, the higher they fly. Let's try it together when our Monster Jam riders rev up and hit that track again. The louder you scream, the higher they fly. That's it, Denver. Now let's introduce our riders. Please welcome Taylor Edwards. One of the 4 horsemen, Robert Haslam. Cody McDonough. And the veteran Jared LaRue. Our Monster Jam FMX riders are going to continue to take to the skies as we gear up for the best trick competition. Let's see how high they fly. All right, Monster Jam fans, our FMX riders are lined up here because it is time for the best trick competition. Our Monster Jam FMX riders are going to take to the skies to touch the top, the very top of Ball Arena, and this is where you come in. We're going to need you to score each of our riders' jumps at judgeszone.com, judgeszone.com, just like we did during the two-wheels competition, using that code DEN. Again, when those screens go red, judgeszone.com using the code DEN. Now, I just have one question remaining for you, and that is, who's ready for the FMX Best Trick Competition?
First up, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise from Marietta, California. Give it up for Taylor Edwards. hands. He is rocking his 3rd season here at Monster Jam on that Yamaha 450.
He lets go for you. Now score for him. JudgesZone.com. You have 20 seconds to use that code DEN and give us a score for Taylor Eddins.
Just coming right off the bike and kicking his feet out while in the air as he flies across the sky. Taylor Eddins looking for those scores. A strong scores are locked. The score for Taylor Eddins is 7.846 to set the pace for the FMX Best Trick Competition. And next up from Ording, Washington, let's hear it for Robert Haslam. Robert Haslam's on that Honda CRF 450. Been riding 19 years professionally, so he's got a trick or two up his sleeve.
If you like what Robert Haslam brought, score now at JudgesZone.com. JudgesZone.com. 20 seconds for the veteran Robert Haslam. Score now.
As we take a look back here, I mean, just coming up off the bike, arching the back like that in a way that would be hard to do even just standing up. But he's doing it in the air on a bike and still getting down. The scores are locked, and the score for Robert Haslam is 8.672, enough to take that #1 spot so far in the competition. And next up, from Ravensdale, Washington, let's hear it for Cody McDonough. Riding that electric Starvark bike. Goes around the corner to get that extra speed. What does Cody have for us?
Look, Ma, no hands and a backflip. Score it now at JudgesZone.com. This man electrifies the skies. Give him the score he deserves at JudgesZone.com.
I mean, look at this. You said it best, Alex. Look, Ma, no hands, upside down, right side up, and doing it all without even using his hands. I can't even ride my bike without my hands. He's flipping them through the air. The scores are locked, and the score for Cody McDonough is 9.185, enough for first place so far for Cody McDonough. And our final competitor from Phoenix, Arizona. Let's get loud for Jared LaRue. "33 years of no fears, flying through the air at the highest of gears. Jared LaRue looking to put that final stamp on the competition.
Scoring is now open at JudgesZone.com. JudgesZone.com. Jared LaRue says, you know what? I can backflip too. Denver, give him the score now. 20 seconds on the clock. Code DEN.
As we look at Jared LaRue again with that backflip, taking his feet off the bike, kicking them over to the side, basically just dismounting from the bike and still able to land it. Scores are locked, and the score for Jared LaRue is 8.825, good enough for second. That means your winner of the Best Trick FMX competition is Cody McDonough.
You know, Monster Jam fans, we are not done yet. Oh no, we got more high-flying action coming your way. These are the Monster Jam trains. Our Monster Jam riders will hit that jump one after the next, after the next, after the next. The louder you scream, the higher they fly. coming through the station with the whip train. You know, Denver, I'm going to need you on your feet for this one. I'm going to need you to get nice and loud on the count of 3. Let's give it up for our riders as they take to the skies. One more time. 1, 2, 3. That is what we call a trick train, and I have a feeling that one more train is about to leave the station. Denver, do you want to see more? They want to see more. I'm going to need you to give me a big choo-choo when that train leaves the station. Do it with me. Choo-choo. Give it up for our backflip train and the riders of USFMX. Taylor Eddins, Robert Haslam, Cody McDonough, and Sharon LaRue. Cody McDonough, winner of the Best Trick competition here in Denver. Not just the winner today, but the winner last night as well. On your birthday, you were riding those birthday vibes again today, my friend. What was that Best Trick all about? What do you call it?
Yeah, it's a no-handed backflip, and let me tell you, you pull for a flip and let go upside down. There's no feeling like it.
You know, as Jack said upstairs on the call, he was like, I can't even ride my bike without hands. And you do it in the air. Just a beautiful, beautiful thing. You know, we have a lot of Monster Jam fans very young in the crowd today. And, you know, they knew they were going to see some high-flying Monster Jam action, but they didn't expect maybe this out of you. If they're getting into freestyle motocross, or they're like, hey, maybe I want to do that someday, do you have any advice for some of our youngest fans out there on how they get started like you?
Yeah, you know, whether it's dirt bikes or not, if you have a dream, kids, chase it. You know, as a kid, I never thought I'd be here doing this, and it's a dream come true for me, and just never give up on your dreams.
I love it. Simple advice. If you got a dream, chase it. That's how we got here. Maybe we'll see you someday soon as well. He is the FMX Best Trick Competition winner, Cody McDonough.
We have reached the pinnacle of the event. This is Monster Jam Freestyle.
The clock is paused. We're going to give Matt Doomer a chance to refire, and he sounds like he is. Let's hear for Matt Doomer, Denver.
Swimming circles around the competition, it's Matt Doomer, Megalodon! Scoring is now open over at judgeszone.com. Scan that QR code on the video board and lock your scores in now.
Matt Doomer with guts and tenacity after that hard landing, continuing to keep on swimming. Megalodon looking to set the bar early in Monster Jam Freestyle here in Denver, Colorado. The scores are locked, and the score for Matt Doomer and Megalodon is 8.179. And Matt's got to feel good about that one. As we take a look back at what we just saw in this freestyle, that big time air from Megalodon and that hard hit early on, I think could have stopped a lot of drivers, but the heart of Matt Doomer wanted to continue, and he did. Next up, taking the track on, it's Carson Williams in Thunderoris.
Our Apex T-Rex pulling out all the stops. Carson Williams, Thunderoris. Time to head on over to judgeszone.com. Scan that QR code on the video board and lock your scores in now, Denver.
Thunderoris ripping apart that track like a prey it caught. As our driver, Carson Williams, gets out of the truck and crawls up onto the front of it. I think Carson's feeling pretty good about that one. Will we see the dance moves, though? Carson Williams, you are a gorgeous-saurus Thunderoris. The scores are locked, and the score for Carson Williams Thunderoris is 7.399, locking in that number 2 spot so far in the competition. So look back here, and again, that aggression here, flying across that pod, almost lost control, but able to hold on and keep this freestyle rocking and rolling. And next up, Denver, Colorado. Let's make some noise for Armando Castro in El Toro Loco. Once again, Denver, let's hear it for Armando Castro, El Toro Loco. And it looks like he might be lining up for that Morgan and Morgan backflip. Wasting no time, he hits it.
No matador in the world can hold this crazy bull back. Armando Castro, el Toro Loco.
Armando Castro with an incredible freestyle attempt there. As we get a look at the driver of that crazy bull, Armando Castro. The scores are locked, and the score to beat is 8.179. And the score for Armando Castro, El Toro Loco, is 9.551. A dominant display, taking over the #1 spot in freestyle as we watch this Morgan and Morgan backflip with some extra mustard on it. Now El Toro Loco going for that Morgan and Morgan backflip with some time on the clock shows the confidence. Most drivers wait until the time is out, so if it doesn't go well, it doesn't impact the rest of the run. Armando Castro, though, says, nah, I got it, hits it, continues the run, and gets a banger of a score. Denver, Colorado. Let's hear it for our next freestyle competitor, Cliff Turner in Velociraptor.
Leaving it all out on the track, it's Cliff Turner, Velociraptor. Now remember, Denver, you have a very important job. It's time to lock your scores in now at judgeszone.com.
Very clean run from Cliff Turner there, able to use up a lot of the track, use up a lot of the ramps. May have had a little bit of trouble early on, but able to fight through a tough landing and continue to maximize that clock time. The scores are locked, and the score for Cliff Turner, Velociraptor, is 6.172. A great showing for Cliff Turner. As we take a look back here at Velociraptor hitting that ramp and getting some great air across the pod, really showing a lot of great things. As we move on to our next competitor, Alex Barden in Earthshaker.
Tearing up the track for the final time this afternoon, Alex Barden, Earthshaker. All right, Denver, you know what to do. Scan that QR code and lock those scores in now.
Alex Barton still looking for that first freestyle win, giving it the best shot here just now, as we once again see the best hair of the business from Alex Barton. Scores are locked, and the score for Alex Barton in Earthshaker is 7.262. Good enough at this time for fourth place. We'll see if he can hold on to those numbers as we go through our final competitors of the competition. But we look back here at this run from Earthshaker, hitting those donuts, old school style. Always fun to see. But our next driver, our next competitor, the world freestyle champion, let's hear it for Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. And he saved it, ladies and gentlemen.
Showing you why he is the World Finals Freestyle Champion, Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Denver, it's time to lock those scores in now. You have 20 seconds over at judgeszone.com.
Blake Granger showing us it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the driver in the dog. Blake Granger, you are an absolute madman. Scores are locked. The score to beat is 9.551. And the score for Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian, is 9.389. Good enough for that second spot here. And then, if you didn't know he was a world champion freestyler, you know it now, as Blake Granger took every second he had and just able to hit these jumps aggressively but land so smoothly when necessary. Hitting the technical, hitting the big air. Wow, Blake Granger. With an incredible run, but also even more incredible, he is now officially your St. Jude ambassador of the event, Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian. And thank you to everyone who has contributed to those St. Jude numbers. Thank you to everyone in Denver for that. As next up, we have our next competitor, Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack.
Let's get those scores locked in for Tim Hall Jr., Jurassic Attack. Head on over to judgeszone.com, use the code DEN, and lock those scores in now.
Tim Hall Jr. has won the freestyle before, and a win here would go very far in locking in the BKT overall event championship for Tim Hall Jr. after that win in JCB Racing earlier on today. The scores are locked, and the score for Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack is 7.886, enough to lock in that fourth place with one more driver left in freestyle. Denver, Colorado. Let me hear you make some noise for the unliving legend, Matt Cody in Gravedigger.
With one foot in the gas and one in the grave, it's Matt Cody, Gravedigger! Denver, for the very final time tonight, it's time to lock your scores in now at judgeszone.com.
Matt Cody has been one of the most consistent freestylers we have. Of course, no surprise coming from a Gravedigger driver to have a lockdown on freestyle. Has already walked away with 7 freestyle wins on this series. The scores are locked, and the score for Matt Cody and Gravedigger is 8.216, which means your freestyle and overall BKT event champion is Armando Castro in El Toro Loco. Armando Castro with a dominant display both in two-wheel skills and in that freestyle. It's impossible to lose when you're putting in numbers like that. And it's got to feel good for Armando Castro in a ball arena filled with folks who have loved that Crazy Bull all day long. And I think Armando's loved you guys here in Denver as well. The performances today of Armando Castro really statement making. Chatting to him before the event about being the one to break the streak of Blake Granger. Confidence in Armando Castro, unshakable, and looking to build on that momentum with a big-time, game-changing run here in Denver so far. And we're going to send things over to our pit reporter, Alex Miniak, to get a word with our champion.
Thank you very much, Jack. You know, earlier on this afternoon, I asked if it was going to be horns up, horns down. It was all the above, and then some of this as well. That was an incredible freestyle run, just capping an incredible day for El Toro Loco and you, Armando Castro.
You know, it's been a while since I've been up here having one of these in my hands, and it feels good to be up here. You know, we fought a couple gremlins in my truck. We finally have a new motor, so we're running 110%. I just want to thank you, Denver fans. You guys are always rocking and rolling and supporting El Toro Loco throughout the years. We love you guys. Thank you. But more than anything, check this out. I was 6 years old when I went to my very first Monster Jam event in Anaheim, California. I grew up knowing at that age what I wanted to do, and that's to become a Monster Jam driver, to inspire the world, to inspire each and every one of you kids right here. It don't matter where you come from. I came from no motorsports background. I literally never even drove, I don't know, an ATV or dirt bike, nothing. I came from no motorsports background. I'm up here to show everybody it don't matter where you come from. You got a dream, work very hard, and you could do it too. We're currently sitting number 2 overall. We're going to crank up the heat. We have another awesome event this weekend. 2, let's get going. Arriba los latinos, los quiero mucho con todo el honor. Gracias por el honor. Es un orgullo de estar aquí encima de esa tierra, holding this in my hand. Como siempre, arriba los latinos, los quiero mucho. We got one more tonight. Come back, Denver. We love you. Did you have fun at Monster Jam?
He's living the dream, your BKT overall event champion, Armando Castro, El Toro Loco.
Big event filled with action here just now as we saw the streak of Blake Granger, Monster Mutt Dalmatian come to an end. And look, Armando Castro made sure there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Dominant display. But Karina, what was your takeaway today? What was your favorite part?
Honestly, it was definitely that Morgan & Morgan backflip. That is what cemented the win for Armando Castro, and honestly, cemented the win for me, because now I am up 2 wins on my predictions, and I am just living the dream of happiness.
Spoiler alert over here with Karina. Make sure not to watch her predictions if you want to be surprised at the end of the event. But it has been an incredible event, and we got more coming up. We have one tomorrow in Denver, but we also have one later tonight. So, folks, we'd love to see you here tonight in person, or if you're on the stream on YouTube, we hope to see you there as well. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that. You were telling us about that earlier. But, folks, it's once again an honor for me to say thank you from all of us here at Bell Arena, and we'll see you at the next Monster Jam.